Ya diddy da diddy da da da. 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 Ya diddy da diddy da da da.
Boker Tov, Shabbat Shalom. I am Rabbi Monica Kleinman, and I am joined here with Leslie Zucker and our technical team in the back. And a big thank you goes out to our BOW committee for literally bringing us beyond our walls, as well as to our digital docents who are managing our streaming on this bright and sunny Shabbat morning. For those of you who are joining us in person this morning, we are calling the page numbers in the square brackets. For those of you following along at home, you should see links to the prayer book PDFs either in the Facebook chat or you can find them in your e-news. And as well as on the link above, is it above in the virtual sanctuary? In above. So if you're watching on the virtual sanctuary, click above for prayer book pages so you can follow along. And for those of us who are here, please remember to silence your electronic devices. I had to check mine twice just to make sure that
God called last night.
Oh, really?
During services, yeah, twice.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I was watching from home, so I didn't notice. So, kol hakavod to the BOW committee for making sure that didn't go through. We will continue our service this morning on page 186 with Modeh Ani, thanking God for restoring our souls to us this morning.
Yeah.
having given thanks for our souls returned to us this morning, we continue on page 195, reading an English rendering of Asher Yatzar, in which we thank God for our bodies. So with our souls and our bodies together, we're able to be alert and ready together this morning. At the top of the page, blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe. With divine wisdom, you have made our bodies, combining veins, arteries, and vital organs into a finely balanced network. Wondrous maker and sustainer of life, were one of them to fail, how well we are aware we would lack the strength to stand before you. Blessed are you, Adonai, source of our health and strength. Baruch atah Adonai, rofe chol basar, umafli la'asot. Page 196.
Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi, tehorahi. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi.
We continue on page 198 with Nisim B'chol Yom, a series of blessings that can remind us to find the holiness in every little thing, even our morning routine, from the moment we realize that there is no going back to sleep after this, till we are up and ready. There's the ability to find some sacred and some the steps of the hands of God in everything we do.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lasech vivina lehavchin ben yom uvein laila. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam pokeach ivrim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zokef kefufim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam roka haaretz al hamayim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamechli mitzadei gaver. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam malbish arumim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hanoten layayef koach. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hama'avir shena meinai utnuma me'af al pai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani b'tzelem Elohim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani bat chorin. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Ozer Yisrael b'gvura. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Oter Yisrael b'tifara.
And on the top of page 204, we'll read the top paragraph in Hebrew and then continue in the English towards the bottom of the page. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. O Adonai our God, Let the words of Torah be sweet in our mouths and in the mouths of your people Israel, so that we, our descendants, and the descendants of all your people Israel may know you by studying your Torah for its own sake. Blessed are you, Adonai, who teaches Torah to your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, hamelamed Torah le'amo Yisrael. Page 206.
אלו דברים שלהם שיעור, אלו דברים שלהם שיעור, אלו דברים שלהם שיעור, ואלו הם דיבור אבאים ומילות חסדים, והשבת את המדרש שחרית וערבית. אלו דברים שלהם שיעור, אלו דברים שלהם שיעור, אלו דברים שלהם שיעור, ואלו הם בהכנסה אורחים וביקור חולים והכנסת כלה ולוויית המת ועיון תפילה ועיון תפילה והבאת שלום בין אדם לחברו ותלמוד תורה כנגד כולם 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 ותלמוד תורה כנגד כולם.
So that is the first portion of our service, our morning blessings, things to get us up and excited and ready to be here. And we continue now on page 212 with Psuke de Zimra, Psalms of Praise. And so we'll start chanting together at the top of the page. Baruch Shamar v'haya ha'olam, Baruch Hu, Baruch Oseh Bereshit, Baruch Omer ve'oseh, Baruch Ozer u'mekayem, Baruch merachem al haaretz, Baruch merachem al habriot, Baruch meshalem sachar tov lireav, Baruch chai la'ad, v'kayam lanetzach, Baruch podeh u'matzil, Baruch shemo. Bishvechot v'zirot negadelcha, v'neshifachecha u'farecha, v'naskir shimcha, v'namchil halichecha, Malkeinu Eloheinu, Yachid kehol amim, Melech meshubach u'mefa'ar adadei ad shamo hagadol, Baruch atah Adonai, Melech mehulal b'tishbachot. Amen. Psalm 150, page 218.
Yeah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Kol hashema
We rise for Baruch Hu, the beginning of our Shema section of the service, on page 226.
Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la.
We continue using our voices together as we read on page 228. Praised are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of light and darkness, who makes peace and fashions all things. In mercy you illumine the world and those who live upon it. In your goodness you daily renew creation. How numerous are your works, Adonai! In wisdom you form them all, filling the earth with your creatures. Be praised, Adonai our God, for the excellent work of your hands, and for the lights you created. May they glorify you. Shine a new light upon Zion, that we all may swiftly merit its radiance. Praised are you, Adonai, creator of all heavenly lights. Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer HaMeorot.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Ve'ata et Adonai Elohecha b'chol lavavecha v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha ve'hayu advarim ha'ele asher Anochi mitzavacha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha u'lechtecha b'derech u'shokbecha u'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם emet.
Amen. We'll continue with that word emet on the top of page 239. Emet, there is no place where you are not. Even in the wilderness there is your word. Emet, that pen strokes of lightning, white fire, black flame, stir the soul's passion, guide our sacred way. True and enduring is Torah. Your truth for us is certain and established, now and forevermore. Like Moses, Miriam, and all Israel, we sing out and rejoice.
Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Adonai, Sifatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagi Tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu, Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Bekonei Hakol, Bezocher Chastei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Gula Livnei B'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Bechayei Metim atah Rav L'Hoshia, Mahashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem, Mechachel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayei Metim Berachamim Rabim, Somech Nofalim V'Rafech Oholim, U'Matir Asurim, U'Mekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'gevurot, U'Mido Melach, Melech Memit U'Mechayeh, U'Matzmiach Yeshua, V'Ne'eman atah l'Chayot Metim, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaMetim. L'dor v'dor, l'dor v'dor, l'dor v'dor, nagid kolecha, u'lenetzach netzachim, u'lenetzach netzachim, kedushatcha nakdish, l'dor v'dor. Kedushat Anakti.
invite you to continue your Amidah silently through page 260. You may return to your seat when your prayers have concluded. All right, so this morning we will be reading a selection from this Shabbat's Haftorah portion. So we're not going to do a Hakafah. We're not going to take the Torah out. So I don't know if we're still going to sing a little intro. Are we still going to sing a little intro? So Romamu, you can find on page 367 to get us in that mood.
Romamu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu le'hakodesh. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu le'hakodesh. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romamu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romamu. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu le'har kodesho. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu le'har kodesho.
So I will read from the Haftorah in just a minute. You can find the link to the reading in your e-news, as well as there'll be a link in the Facebook chat. The Haftorah for this Shabbat is from the book of Ezekiel. So this Shabbat, as Rabbi Katapan mentioned last night, is called Shabbat HaChodesh. And I'm going to do a quick Hebrew pop quiz. If no one knows, that's okay. What does ha before the beginning of a word mean in Hebrew? I'm sorry? The or the. So it's telling us that it's the definite article. It's saying the. It's talking about something very specific. So we have things in our culture that we can just refer to as the whatever, and we all know what we mean. So like when someone says the big game, you know they're talking about the Super Bowl, right? Or you call it and say the Super Bowl, and you know what you're talking about, right? You're not talking about that really big bowl of, that you can fill with, whatever it is. The Super Bowl, we're talking about a specific football game. Here in Kansas City, if we say the K, we know we're talking about Kauffman Stadium, right? We don't need to elaborate. We just kind of know. Or we say north of the river, we know what river we're talking about. We don't need to say explicitly what river it is. In your house, you might say, and I hope you say this often, we're going to go to the synagogue. You don't need to say specifically which synagogue it is because everybody assumes that you know. So this Shabbat is called Shabbat HaChodesh, Shabbat of the month. And so the month, as we know, simply because of context, because of today, the month is Nisan. But that's not necessarily something, if I told you it's Shabbat of the month, you would think like, well, is this one Shabbat every 4 weeks that we think? So, but in our Jewish tradition, there are so many things that are of such high importance, we just call it the whatever. So you might know that there is a section of Mishnah in the Talmud called Yoma, and Yoma is Aramaic. The aleph at the end, the ah sound, serves the same purpose as the hey at the beginning. So Yoma is the Yom, the day, which, does anyone know? Yom Kippur. So if in rabbinic literature you see the word the day, you know but you have to know the context, right? You wouldn't just know out of the blue. So this Shabbat is Shabbat HaChodesh, Shabbat, the Shabbat of the month. And why is Nisan the month? Rabbi Kadab? It's the first month. It's the first Rosh Chodesh of the first month. So we think of springtime, we are in April. April's the 4th month of the year, right? But in the Jewish calendar, this is going to get really confusing for us. Every time I say the Jewish calendar is confusing, it really goes out of crazy. If you think about how the year starts, you think Rosh Hashanah, right? The head of the year, Rosh Hashanah. Well, Rosh Hashanah is actually the 8th month, or the 7th month, excuse me, the 7th month, because the new year, when we think about the cycle of the year, starts in springtime. That makes sense, doesn't it? If you think it wouldn't be intuitive because we have New Year's in January and then we have Rosh Hashanah in the fall. But we talk about HaChodesh, the month. We're always referring to the month of Nisan. And so it's the gear up to Passover. It's the beginning of spring, as we're starting to see. So when you hear something with, the whatever, it always thinks about what culture are you talking about? Which group are you speaking with? Because sometimes you might have some crosstalk. So, but in a Jewish context, when you hear the month, you can always remember it's the month of Nisan, the month of Passover and rebirth and springtime. So our Haftorah portion this morning comes from the book of Ezekiel, where Ezekiel describes what the Nasi, the prince of Israel, does as far as offerings during this particular month. And there are always offerings at the temple on regular days and on Shabbat, but for HaChodesh, for the month, believe it or not, there are extra special ones. Are you surprised? So the Haftorah portion can be found on page 1653, 1653, if you have one of those red Chumashim in front of you. There should be a link in the virtual version. And the Haftorah blessings can be found in your Siddur, if you would like to follow along, on page 372. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nvi'im tovim v'ratza v'divreihem hane'emarim be'emet Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'torah Uv Moshe Abdo, Uv Yisrael Amaho, Uvin Vie Ha'emet Vatzedek. Amen. Kol Ha'aham Ha'aretz Yehiyu El Hateruma Hazohot La nasihi b'Yisrael, v'al hanasihi yihyeh ha'olohot hamincha v'hanesech b'chagihi tuvachodashim Uv'shabbatot b'chol moadei Beit Yisrael Hu ya'aseh et hachatat v'et hamincha v'et ha'olah v'et hashlemim lechaper b'ad Beit Yisrael Ko amar Adonai Elohim barishon ba'echad lachodesh tikach par ben bakar tamim v'chiteta et hamikdash. Oh, that book's really heavy. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam tzur kol haolamim tzadik b'chol hadorot ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer v'yoseh ha'medaber u'mekayim shekol devarav emet v'tzedek al ha'torah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al ha'nevi'im ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh Shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu likdusha v'limnucha lechavod u'tifaret al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim lach u'mevarchim otach yiparach shimcha b'fi kol chai tamid le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Amen. So we'll continue now with our Mi Sheberach, our blessing for those in need of healing. You may access our Mi Sheberach list through the e-news that you received yesterday morning, or you can follow the link that's in the comments. If you would like to offer names and you are virtual, please type them in the comments section so we can all see them. For those of us together in person, I invite you to share names as I pass my hand across the sanctuary.
Sue Wheeler.
May the one who blessed our ancestors bring blessings of strength, compassion, and healing to those of us who struggle with the oppression of addiction, emotional distress, and mental suffering. Surround them with loving kindness, grace, and companionship and peace. As we think of those in need of healing, we also turn our prayers to those who help in healing, health workers all over our city and the world during this pandemic. May those who care for the sick with their hands, their voices, and their hearts be blessed with courage and stamina. May those who pursue healing through medical skill and knowledge be blessed with insight, patience, and compassion. May all of us, the sick and well together, find courage and hope.
With
we wrap up this section of our service with Eitz Chaim, which you can find on page 374, your Siddur.
Eitz Chaim hi lamachazikim ba letzomchea meushar terachea darchei noam v'chol netivotea shalom Hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva Kadesh, Kadesh Yameinu Kadesh Yameinu Kekedem.
I invite you to rise for Aleinu L'Shabeach, which you can find on the bottom of page 586.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, la'teit gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד Ushemo, Ushemo, Ushemo Echad.
We continue together in English on the top of page 594 as we turn our thoughts to our Kaddish Yatom, our memorial prayer. Why should I wish to see God better than this day? I see something of God in each hour of the 24, and each moment then. In the faces of men and women, I see God, and in my own face in the glass. I find letters from God dropped in the street, and every one is signed by God's name. And I leave them where they are, for I know that wheresoe'er I go, others will punctually come forever and ever. This week, our congregation Beth Torah community has heard of the passing of Ron Simons. We are in the Shloshim period, the first 30 days of mourning, for Lloyd Hellman, husband of Judy Hellman, father and father-in-law of Rick and Teresa Hellman, and brother-in-law of Marcia and Larry Rittmaster, as well as Kevin Casey Eichler, brother and brother-in-law of Jim and Kelly Kaplan. And on their yard sites, on the anniversaries of their passing, we remember Harry Belmont, Mary Belmont, Betty Weinstock Berlin, Virginia Esser, Elaine Ray Sherman Evnan, Rose Fishman, Paula Frank, Peter Goldberg, Blanche Goldstein, Harry Gorski, Gladys Marie Grebner, Yetta Kaplan, Eddie Kirschenbaum, Mason Kessler, Reggie Lloyd, Sophie Lowenstein, Herbert Mendelson, Martin Michel, Sion Rabard, Rose Skanicki, Fred Smith, Muriel Zucker, Bill Zartman. And I want to correct myself. I said we heard of the recent passing of Ron Simons, brother of Linda Gepford. Are there any additions or corrections this morning? On their behalf, we recite the words of Kaddish Yatom, our mourner's Kaddish, on page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, Bagala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevarach la'alam ulamei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudisha barichu. La'elam min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imru amen.
Ose shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'imru, ve'imru, amen.
It's now my pleasure to invite forward Aviva Simons, our Director of Member Engagement, for some announcements this morning.
This is Aviva's song.
I think we should record it. Like now
I
it's
think
official.
I need to write some verses.
Oh, yes. That's next. Shabbat Shalom. Good morning. Thank you very much to Rabbi Kleinman and Leslie Zucker for leading this service. And thank you to Dave Zucker for always bringing us beyond our walls. Friday after Friday, Saturday after Saturday, always. Thank you. A few quick announcements. Our next Shabbat service is on Friday, April 8th. So we look forward to being back together in person and online next week. Before then, we have a few different things going on. So first of all, tomorrow is our first CBT gift shop liquidation sale. So with tremendous gratitude to Kelly Kaplan and all of the many volunteers over the years who have sustained the CBT gift shop, now it's time to take a piece of that home with us. So join us in person. Everything is 50% off, 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. And it's a great way to support Beth Torah and again, bring a piece of our home here home with you. Later in the day tomorrow, all are welcome to join Leslie at St. Elizabeth Catholic Church in KCMO for United in Prayer, which is an exploration of prayer through art, music, and movement. And it will also be with Susie Adams, who plays the piano with us. So it will be a wonderful evening. Take a look in the e-news for more information. And Passover is now in less than 2 weeks because it is 2 weeks from last night. So if anyone would like to join us for our Seder in person, registrations are required, and that can be found online. It is multi-access also, so if you would like to participate in the Seder from your own home, it will be live streamed on all of our virtual platforms, no RSVP needed, and take a look online because we have anything and everything Passover related, which is now launched. With that, I hope that it is a Shabbat Shalom. Of course, we have some sweets in the Ulam following the concluding song, and that's it. Shabbat Shalom. One additional announcement. On Monday, the Good Faith Network, which is one of our largest social justice initiative here at Beth Torah, will be gathering in person at 6 p.m. So the 20-plus members of Beth Torah, who are members of the Good Faith Network, are strongly encouraged to join us in person as we continue our important work. How is that? Okay.
And on top of that, I saw in the emails that it will be done by the time the game starts if we are blessed to have a game on Monday night. So you can be able to do both. So we wish the Jayhawks luck tonight and hopefully luck on Monday. So we'll conclude this morning with... It was on. We'll conclude this morning. It's going to be the end of the day. Page 626, Ein Keloheinu, a classic Shabbat morning closer. I invite you to rise.
Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kadoneinu, Ein Kemalkeinu, Ein Kemoshienu, Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kadoneinu, Ein Kemalkeinu, Ein Kemoshienu. Ata Michelu, sorry, nu, Michadoneinu, Michemalkeinu, Michemoshienu. Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kadoneinu, Ein Kemalkeinu, Ein Kemoshienu, Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kadoneinu, Ein Kemalkeinu, Ein Kemoshienu. Now Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu. Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kadoneinu, Ein Kemalkeinu, Ein Kemoshienu. Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kadoneinu, Ein Kemalkeinu, Ein Kemoshienu.
Shabbat Shalom.
Take care of each other out there.